In case you come from me, they don't wanna eat. If he said he want, they don't want no steam. She put it on it. Had a self-esteem, hit a block. Yo, this flock. Where you at? Pin it. My new map location be the block.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. And you got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Just a minute ago, it was Jameis Winston leading his Buccaneers out of the tunnel. They're on their feet here in Tampa as the Bucs get set to match up with the New Orleans Saints. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. It's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There was a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. And this is a guy who last week not only helped his real team, but really helped a lot of fantasy teams. 3 trips to pay dirt. They've got to contain it.
And watching him play is like going to lunch with you when you order that combo plate, right? In this case, his combo plate is he can go over the top of you and catch it in front, turn it into a big gain, run past you, and then uses his size and his physical abilities to keep you away from the football. Hard to defend this guy.
Reigning NFC offensive carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
And, Brandon, as we continue to see, so much of the influence on this game is now coming from those hybrid-type players. In this case, strong safety, not worried about covering the pass. What a play on the run.
Tackled for a loss.
Yeah, forget the pregame introductions. He introduced himself with authority on that play.
Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence. Stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And that is incomplete. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on fourth. Off play action. Knight. He's going to let it go deep. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. In for the score. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Jackson now to return. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance, because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. First carry of the ball game now. It's C.J. Anderson. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Winston. Blitz coming, and down he goes. A.J. Klein. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. From the gun, Winston.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10.
No, Jack, Patriot!
Off the play fake. Knight is going to fire one deep over the middle. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
Off play action. Knight nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Off the play fake. Knight escaping the pressure right. His throw incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. He's going to fire one deep. It's caught at the 10. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Knight. Flushed out, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. John Simon in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. As his guys are in for 6. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
It's never fun for a defense to run on the field knowing that they're having to defend a short field. Just the idea of trying to limit an offense in that position, daunting for a defense.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Jackson now to return. And he's able to get it up close to the 35, but hang on here. Penalty marker down. And this one might be going the other way.
Block in the back. Return team.
So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
First down, Winston. And Brate, the tight end's got it. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Winston now to throw on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, it doesn't take any great analysis. No jokes, partner, okay? All right, on this one. But we just know that we're going to see this as the game moves forward. There's going to be 2 guys on him on just about every snap.
It's kind of a dare to throw his way, but they have to keep throwing his way.
The benefits could be great. You throw it to a great receiver, he could come down with it anyway.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And this is going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen.
To start this thing. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 18. Dances by him. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he'll get this up to about the 40.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On 1st down, Knight. Flush to his right. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's off play action. Knight. And he fires one incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Saints on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun. Knight. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack. Back at the 47-yard line. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And pressure gets to him again. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off, and the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. And, partner, I'm not really sure what in the world they were thinking on 4th and long there at this stage in the game, but you think social media may be firing up a little bit right now?
The coach is trending right now. Right? There's no doubt about it. People wonder what that decision was. But it takes me back to a number of years ago. A very successful coach in the league had told himself before a playoff game he was going to be aggressive. No matter what, he's going to be aggressive. And it ran his team into some real problems early, and they got upset in that playoff game. Let's see if this team can recover.
Well, that's aggressive in capital letters with glitter, 7 underscores. I mean, that's the definition of aggressive.
Yeah, you can almost hear the cheerleaders doing the be aggressive chant behind him, and he listened to it.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Roughing the passer, defense.
How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
Now a run with Anderson, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So a pretty early first quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Now Winston. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Cameron Brate, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bucs are able to make this a close game again. Yeah, he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Lucky 56.
Off the play fake. Knight eluding the pressure right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. They're going to try and throw. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. Well, it's gutsy to go for it in the red zone. The problem there is they were in their own red zone. Why in the world did they do that?
They must have thought they had the exact play call that they...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push.
And he pulls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. In for the score. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Oh, he shifts past him. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Rolling to his right. He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 42. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 54 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Pretty much unreal, not just in terms of yardage, Charles, but also throw in the 3 touchdowns as well. When
you put the whole package together, I can make you a pretty good guarantee right now. He's going to see a few more people in the...
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. The Saints on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Leopard! 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 Leopard!
From the gun, Knight. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator, but my goodness.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. As his guys are in for 6. And the Saints have moved out in front. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Ready! Blue lady!
Handoff comes to Anderson. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. 44 yards.
When the big guy rumbles down the center of the field and he gains leverage on a guy trying to cover him, it is really, really tough for the defender to get through him to make a play on the football. That's why guys love to throw that route down the middle, throw it deep, and let the big guy go get it.
12 more yards there and another first down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. In for the score. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
A good pick up there, 26 yards. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back.
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. 9 yards on the pickup that time, so he got more than half of it back. But it's still a 3rd and 8. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special runs in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Gone! All right, now, look at 56.
On 4th down, Knight. Now he'll be hit from behind, and he is landed on hard. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Buccaneers' defense holds, and they get the football back. The D brought the house, they called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, and we'll find out later on, was that called before the play, or did they audible into it? Because defenses change plays as well as offenses. Sometimes they get the set they want, they go right to the blitz, and in this case, they nailed it, got right to the quarterback, no chance on that 4th down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. That's a gain of 6 on the first down run.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. And when people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On second down, it's Jones. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back.
Holding. Offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
And they'll go on the ground. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On 3rd down, Winston. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Off play action. Knight. And going deep for Hill. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The tight end Josh Hill was the target. And now it's second down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball. Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back. But that's one step in the proper direction. Second and 10 now from the 27.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
To throw again. Knight. And he finds Danny Amendola. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And in week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. And they'll run it here. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. To throw on second down. Knight buying time to his left. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Illegal forward pass. Offense.
So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
Throwing on third and long. Knight. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Pass interference. Defense.
Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
Just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to be... Off the play fake. Knight. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. He got 29 yards that time. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
On 2nd down, Anderson. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. The Bucs on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Jameis to throw it. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And you looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Orlando Scandrick. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to air one out, and that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference. Defense.
A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
Bringing it in, Jackson left side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Knight dancing to his left. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go? And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. It's their quarterback on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Saints have moved out in front.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. Lutz with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So the drive there took 6 plays, and in the end it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you across state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Jackson's got it over the middle. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. They're starting to put some space here. First quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. And Thomas seems to be in some pain. He's still on the ground. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Throwing on 1st down. Knight. And going deep for Hill. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Josh Hill, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints add on to their lead.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. Lutz good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Short kick. One of the up mid will take it down. An excellent field position here as this drive will start on the other side of the 50-yard line.
After return to midfield, I just wish we could open up the heads of the offensive and defensive coordinators, because right now the wheels have to be spinning because things just changed. Offensive playbook just opens up, and now on defense, do you play aggressively or do you lay back a little bit to try and calm things down?
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Screenplay, Anderson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On 1st and 10, Winston. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Ready? White 25. Here we go.
Working out of the gun, Winston. Right side caught by Jackson. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. And into the red zone now. And Charles, they told us, offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points, so you know that all the time during the week they talked about.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown, as his guys are in for 6. And the Bucs have made this a one-score game. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 25 yards, the pickup there, and also a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even happened.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. C.J. Anderson as the first half is winding down. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half.
Well,
there's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, whether they want to let their return guy touch it.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. 13 seconds, the time remaining in the half as they come up on first down. They go play action here on first down. Flushed out right. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. The penalty is a result of that hit there.
The final shot before break. Knight. Throw left side taken in by Meredith. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando. It's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll start with a good one in the NFC South. Carolina playing host to Atlanta. And that one getting close to halftime with the Falcons out in front. Julio Jones, a touchdown reception. Next, we'll take the trip north to the Steel City to check on the Steelers at home in Pittsburgh. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Ben Roethlisberger has thrown a couple of touchdown passes. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore and check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And this one going the visitors' way as the Cardinals have the lead in that one. 2 touchdown passes there for Teddy Ballgame. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Jackson now to return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. A first scoring update now from Carolina. An early lead in that game for the Falcons. Matt Ryan, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one. The third quarter starts with a run from Anderson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Winston. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, of that marker. 1st and 10. Knight being chased out left. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked up by M.J. Stewart. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a first down when you want 3. Get a little bit closer, making it easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense that they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Now he'll escape to his left. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. Well, it certainly appears that the big guys up front have taken charge of the line of scrimmage. 2 really nice plays back-to-back. But on the defensive side of the ball, there shouldn't be any despair. Okay, they've got us a couple of times here. Hang in there, keep your composure, and try and figure it out for the next play.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Back to the air on second down. Knight. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they left little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing.
This is caught inside the 15. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And we continue to see another example here of offenses just going for it.
And this game has really turned into a receiver's dream and a defender's nightmare because no one's being stopped throwing the ball downfield, and points are going on the board.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Detroit! Detroit!
Looking to throw. Knight. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Kendall Beckwith coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Well, surprise, surprise. 1st and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak. No running play. They decide to throw for it, but the pressure got to him quickly and put the quarterback down.
Flush to it, and he's going to go down again.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
They're not going to kick it. A chip shot, but they're going for it down 3 on 4th down. Back to throw. Knight. Forced out to his right. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. He couldn't get the ball away on 4th and goal. And the Buccaneers defense holds and they get the football back. And you wonder, Charles, could that decision come back to haunt them later?
And it really could, because in this situation, you kick the field goal in a tight game like this, that's a good play. But maybe what he's saying to himself is, I'm just not a big proponent of the old idea that any possession that ends in a kick, I'm happy with. He wanted to be really aggressive.
A little twist here in the 3rd quarter. 23 yards on the play.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? And he can break big plays like that, and we've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
Yeah, I'm still remembering a certain Giants punter not following orders, and Deshaun Jackson made that big-time return all the way back for a game winner in that one. I still remember seeing the looks of disbelief on the Giants sideline.
Throwing, Winston. He's got Daly. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
But think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now, because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there was another 1st down run right there.
A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
Offense.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. To throw is Winston. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking...
And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And his kick here is good. and that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. They had it first and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound like it's a little counterintuitive, but you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag.
Now a play fake here on first down. That's caught by Jackson. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15. More for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
On first down, Knight. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by M.J. Stewart. And he's able to bring it out 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Ready. Blue ready. Boys, head up.
Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved.
False start. Offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Ready. 1, 2. Boys, head up.
From the gun, Winston. Evans has it left side. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And in week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. The Bucs on third down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 7.
Ready. 125.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. And he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Winston. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now Winston. And this is going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Rolling to his left. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
But there was no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
Throwing again. Knight. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. That's complete to Meredith. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points on.
And he's going to lose yardage here. As they will switch ends as time is running. Back now in Tampa. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play.
All right, now look at 56.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Knight. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when...
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. Oh, no, he lost the football. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. They start the drive with Anderson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Boy, tight game like this, 4th quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
They run it again with Anderson. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Another toe here for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Anderson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively, but there could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Now Jones. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked #1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
Now Jameis on 2nd down. Critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And there was a good opportunity that just went awry there, a drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And on the ground they go with a running back. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, and you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Good lesson. Never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They run again on first down. Anderson found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. A false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. They'll run it now out of the gun. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. Call it a 3-yard gain, but they'll be forced into a 3rd and 15 coming up.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Ready. Blue ready.
3rd and long for Winston. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the fourth quarter trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
Back to that Philly. Here we go.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
Got to be careful here. Backed up this deep on third down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Now they go for it on fourth down, but that pass is knocked away and incomplete. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that.
Let's just say that with that call, me and the head coach will agree to disagree. Right? But he knew he wanted to be aggressive there, as you pointed out. So I guarantee he told his defensive coordinator, have your guys up and ready. I'm going to go for it here. If we don't get it, just make sure they're ready to go out there and bail us out.
2nd and goal from the 1. Here's Winston. Oh, no, he lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. The 30. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. 94 yards. And the Saints can take the lead if they can hit the extra point. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
A very important extra point there, up and good, and they have taken the lead here in this fourth quarter. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Now it's Wilson. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time. Fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure.
And the Saints pressure gets it. Brought down for a sack. Dayon Buchanan coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Second down, Winston. And that's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Ready? White 25. Here we go.
Now Winston. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise, this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. Incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Jameis to throw it. Jackson's got it over the middle. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
But that's pretty much how they teach as a DB. Hit him and have some force with it. Yet he still caught the football and got the yardage he needed.
A little deflating?
Very much so.
Defensively?
Yeah, because you're trying to police up that area, and you don't want them to come in there, and you're hoping some good hard tackles will keep them out of there. In this case, he just shrugged it off and went ahead and got what he needed.
Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Again, it's Winston. Oh, no, he lost the football. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
Gone! 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 Gone!
Off play action. Knight. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and it's 3rd and 5.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
On 4th down, Knight eluding the pressure right. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling, and this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up, and this game
game's over.
Not only the completion, but that pass also gives him the record for most passing yards in a single game. What a day.
That tells you that the completion percentage is really high. Yards per pass, really high. But what a fantastic day. A brand new record, and we were here to witness it.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Mark Ingram, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
Brandon, remind me again, this is a rookie quarterback we're seeing?
A rookie indeed.
I mean, because my eyes are telling me something I'm having trouble believing. 5 touchdown passes. He's thrown 5 in this game. Are you kidding me?
Lutz will look to add the extra point. Lutz with the extra point, and that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Out to kick it off. Now it's Wilson. And he's going to take this all the way down to the 40-yard line.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field, and they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
When Mike Evans sees man coverage, I don't think he's the only guy who gets excited. I'll guarantee the guy throwing the ball does, because guess what? He's got a lot of options about where to place it because of Mike Evans' size and frame.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. A second down throw for Winston. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Trey Quinn, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bucs are within a 2-point conversion of tying us up.
So they got the touchdown they needed to cut this to 2, but now they've got to get back to the huddle. No celebration time. Got to figure out what they're going to do on the 2-point conversion.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
Let's go, let's convert, let's convert, let's convert. Ready? Black,
They'll throw again. Winston. Escaping the pressure right. And the failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Throwing on first down. Knight. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
On first and 10, Knight. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Sliding out of the pocket. Right side caught by Jackson. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Looking to throw. Knight. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Buccaneers have it.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
12 yards there as they move the chains. First down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw. And a catch right side by Evans. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. He'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Evans. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Give him 30 yards there. Back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And now nothing but green ahead of him. He's at the 30, 20, 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Brandon, we spent time with this team before the game, and there was never any indication that they did not like their kicker.
Well, it shows right now that they didn't like their kicker. Why didn't they just put it through the goalpost and take the lead?
That is going to be the question that has to be answered. I don't know about you, but I'm skipping my flight. I'm going to the post-game press conference to find out what they were thinking.
Instead of playing conservative, they go through the air, and what a stunning turn of events. Lutz to try to add the PAT. Lutz good on the extra point. And it might seal the deal as that makes it a 2-score game here with not a lot of time remaining. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A gain of 6 there on first. Someone moved, flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
So that'll back him up 5. The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. And here is motion again. And that's going to be 2 in a row.
False start, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Winston. Now a desperation throw deep down, and this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 46, and they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved.
Offense.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now Winston. He's going to let it fly. And this will be caught at the 30. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
So a little extra on top of the big play there.
It's tough for guys rushing the passer, but you have to know when the ball is gone. And if you listen, officials will tell you ball's gone. He didn't pull up.
Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved.
False start. Offense.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Here's Winston. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Winston. And it's caught. He's got it for a late touchdown, but probably a little too late. It would take a miracle of epic proportions if they're going to pull this one off. Problem for them, they needed that score with a little more time left on the clock. I think just too little too late now.
I would agree with that, and we're programmed never to say never. But in this case, we're asking a lot for them to even think they have a chance.
The point after is good, and the lead is down to 2. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, this was a good one. Excitement all the way to the end. You had the points, and then they were hoping for the miracle there on the onside kick. Couldn't get it recovered, and that was your ball game.
And I'm of the opinion that any time you actually do recover an onside kick, it almost is a miracle. It takes so many things going right to make it happen. It didn't in this case, and they walk off a victor.
So for the Saints, a final win here means they'll finish off the regular season at a solid 13-3. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers, despite the loss here, they're going to wind up with a very good 11-5 overall mark. And they'll get their shot at playoff football.
If the squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Yeah. Hey. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Hey. 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 Same squad, same squad, same squad.